Thanks for sticking with me through the previous three. I know that we've gone through a lot, but hopefully it will really help your game and save with any frustrations. Now it's just time to go through a few miscellaneous things. So it's not really an upgrade, but your tool bag can come in so useful on those tough missions. Never forget about these and always go for anything that can go in here. I personally find the flares to be of absolute use, but things like grenades, they can be so useful against enemies like metalheads. Medkits, ideally you're not going to use them, but every now and again you will. Don't forget that they will bandage bleeding survivors. They won't take you back to a green state if you've gone into the red for your health, but they will stop the bleeding and they can keep you on your feet just when you need them. Study what's in your tool bag. Never forget it in the heat of battle, because the number of times this tool bag has saved me, wow, it can't be overestimated. You may have noticed that when we went through, I had a fully leveled up Glenn and a fully leveled up Maggie. I think these guys are absolutely great for when you are farming. So Glenn's lucky dumpster means that you always get supplies from any mission where he's the leader, or if he's just a part of the team. Supplies become so slow to generate as you get further into the game. I consider him quite essential. I've managed to give him a decent sort of trait loadout as well, and of course he's quite highly starred, so I recommend making Glenn a backup at least in your team. Similarly with Maggie, Maggie's kills are worth 40% more experience. Well, if you need an experience boost, chuck her on as the leader. I always at least have her on the team, and I typically equip her with armor that has the training gear, which means that she gets additional XP as well. She can be a fantastic XP farmer. I recommend that you always have her on your team. Somebody else who can boost your haul is the governor. Now you can see I've left him behind, unfortunately. I don't know if he's particularly good. I know that his leadership trait only kicks in if he is the leader. If he's somebody who's one of your favorites, if you found him to really help when you are farming, maybe with a dream team of the governor, Glenn and Maggie, then please do let me know. It's not somebody who I've been keeping up with, but again, somebody you might want to consider if you haven't already left them behind. Something that I touched on in the base building mission, you might notice that I have full XP and full supplies. The reason for this is because sometimes an event will come up where the cost of upgrading your buildings or upgrading your equipment and survivors is reduced by 25%. That's why I tend to let these, the amount of supplies and XP, get to the max before I spend them, rather than spending them at the first opportunity that I have. And I strongly recommend that you do the same too. I won't go into it too much because I think I've already gone through it, but always check out the black market for any gear that you might potentially want. There's some amazing deals in here, but spend your gold wisely. As you can see, I've got over 1,000 gold. That's because once I've finished upgrading my equipment and my survivors, I'm going to want to have a look and see if there's any unique weapons, maybe in the black market, and in fact, definitely currently in the guild shop. I'm not going to get it just yet. I'm not going to get this flare gun, which I know that I want, just yet, because I'm still upgrading other things and I don't want to be distracted, but always try and have some good gold in reserve if you can. Similarly, I recommend holding on to a stash of trade goods. You never know when reinforcement tokens, reroll tokens, or maybe a particularly useful weapon is going to appear in the trade shop. So don't necessarily just grab the hero tokens as soon as you can see these. Yes, if it's a hero that you're going to use and that they are potentially going to upgrade when you get those tokens, yeah, sure, Don't ever spend gold on these tokens. Similarly with these survivor ones, you get survivor tokens very quickly. This is a pretty good deal for 50 survivor tokens, but I recommend holding on to your trade goods and only spending it on these tokens when you've got everything else that you need. I think I've been through everything. If there's anything that I've missed, or anything that you want me to go into more depth in, or anything that you particularly want covered, please do let me know. But thank you very much for watching.